Urban Meyer was rightly fired as the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He stunk up the pipe. He was an absolute disaster being the head coach of Jacksonville. He was running an NFL organization, NFL business, like he was back at Ohio State. He was trading players that are 30 years old, that have families, that have mortgages to pay, like they're 18, 19-year-old kids. He had an absolute disaster time, and he rightly deserved to be fired. The decisions that he was making off the field are decisions that we have never seen before. We have never seen coaches stunk up the pipe that badly when it came to off the field. Yeah, you have bad coaches in the NFL who struggle, who do not have a winning record. But when it comes to off the field, they're respected. They're respected because they respect others. But if you see the way that Urban Meyer was training the players, was training the staff, we have never seen such disrespect shown by a head coach to other parts of the organization. It felt like he was there. Honestly, it felt like he was there scamming the Jacksonville Jaguars of $30 million. That he was there to steal money from them. He wanted their paycheck and he wanted to be fired. And I hope the Jacksonville Jaguars do not pay the rest of the money that they owe him, because he does not deserve that money. Give it to a charity. A charity deserves it, not Urban Meyer. He absolutely stunk it up. Let's look at all the mistakes that he made being the head coach of Jacksonville. Starting with the tight end position. Tight end, if they needed a fourth string tight end, a practice squad member, a member who will play on the special team, a member who might even come on some games to block. He could have picked anyone. He could have looked at his 52 roster and seen, okay, we have this player who has played tight end his entire life, is working hard, has the passion for the game. Should I pick him? Yeah, he was not a high draft pick, but he wants it so bad. And he's practicing every single game. I can pick him. No, not him. We can look at the free agency, and we have a couple tight ends, who used to be good back in the day. We can bring them in. They can actually be veteran players for other squad members, and they've been tight end since their entire life. We can choose them. Nah, screw them. But I know who can play tight end. He was my quarterback in college, and he played quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. He was a great quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, he played NFL 10 years ago, but he was a quarterback. Although he has never blocked a player in his life, he has never catched a ball in his life, and doesn't want to play special teams, but fuck it. Let me bring in Tim Tebow. And he brings in Tim Tebow, and Tim Tebow stinks it up. He does not want to play special teams, and he cannot block anyone. He could not even block me, and I'm 5'6", and he's like 6'2". He will not even be able to block me. He screws that up. And he has to let go of Tim Tebow before the season even starts, because we get videos of Tim Tebow blocking, and we're like, Urban, are you kidding us? Like, are you taking a piss? This guy can't play tight end for us. So he screws that. Then you get the strength coach. You know what? Strength coach, how can you screw this up, Urban? Just get a strength coach, How hard can it be? Look at the resume. Oh, yeah, you look like a good strength coach, just put you in. No, he screws that up too. He goes and he gets a strength coach who has racist behavior, who has had past racist behavior, has been found guilty of racist behavior in the past. And he screws that up, and he has to let the guy go the day later, because he's got past history of being a racist. Screws that up. Okay, Urban, you can't screw anything else up. Urban, there's a rule in the NFL that, not a rule, it's like a moral rule that if you lose, it's better if you travel with the team, on the plane. You can't always travel with the team, it's good for you. And he decides after a loss to not travel with the team. Yeah. And then he decides to stay in Cincinnati, and there's a video of him that comes out of him finger banging a girl in a bar in Cincinnati while he's married. That's right. There's a video that comes out of him when he's staying at a bar and a girl is just rubbing up against him and he's finger banging her. Well, he fucks that up too. And then to top it all off, he kicks the kicker in his hamstring where the kicker was injured. That's right, he kicked the kicker in the hamstring where he was injured and kept calling him the kicker. He's lucky that Josh Lambo is a nice guy and didn't punch him out, because he rightly deserved to be punched in the fucking face. He deserved his teeth to be kicked in. Such an awful bad coach. He deserved hell. Not only did he disrespect Josh Lambo, he goes on to all the coaches that he has hired, and he asked them, what have you done in the past? Ask for their resumes. Yeah, that's right. He goes and asks the coaches that he hired, what have you done in the past? And they're all like, yeah, Urban, you can go fuck yourself. Marvin Jones leaves because he's like, what the fuck is this crap? And all the coaches and players actually run after Marvin Jones and be like, please come back. We need you. They beg Marvin Jones to come back. Marvin Jones comes back because he's well respected. He's been in the NFL for so long. He's like, this is an absolute circus that you're running, Urban. And you have the future of the Jacksonville Jaguars, their quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, coming out going, yeah, we don't know what we're doing here. It's an absolute clown show. There's so much drama. We have no idea who's going to play. We have no idea what runs we're going to run. We have no idea what plays we're going to run. And then he comes and he speaks up because their best player on the offensive game, Robinson, gets put on the bench because he has some issues with the coaches. And he's like, well, we need that guy on the offense because he's our best target. Absolute disaster. And he deserved to be fired 3 months ago. He's lucky that Jacksonville stayed that long with him. He should have been fired ages ago. He had an absolute disaster. And it shows that coaches that are in the college, they're there for a reason. Because they cannot lead men. They can lead 18, 19-year-olds because they can control them. They control in the NCAA, in what we call college football, they control everything. They control all the noise that goes out. So you have no idea what's happening in the locker room. You don't know all the disgusting stuff that's going on. Because they're able to control everything, the news that goes out, what players they stick with. But in the NFL, these are men. They can go give an interview about how bad of a coach you are. We have seen college coaches do not make it in the NFL because they cannot lead men. And Urban Meyer was another one who cannot lead men. He's not a good coach in the NFL basis, and he deserved to be fired.